Hi. As I was making some food for my family, my thoughts drifted to my son, who has really meant a lot to me in my life. And we all say that as parents. And you guys have probably heard or seen my posts about how special he has been to me in my life. My son shouldn't be here, and I knew that his life was a great miracle in itself. But I really didn't believe that there was this divine power that was really great within this world, that was truly trying to tell me something. And so I posted a video on YouTube about the importance of people and the importance of the role that Joey Feek played in my life. Well, my son has played a huge role in my life, and I know he doesn't like it when I talk about him. I guess kids really don't. But Alec really is this great person. And my son was born premature and had so many health issues. And after, I was in my car accident when he turned almost 7 years old, and him and I, even before my auto accident, and his medical records is about this thick, and it was that thick before he was even an adult, and we were in and out of the hospitals daily, the emergency rooms daily, and he was allergic to everything. He had severe asthma, chronic conditions, and yet he had walking pneumonia several times in his lifetime, and just so many things handed to this kid. And I always notice this boy, he's struggling with this fever, this terrible cough. He can barely breathe, he can barely get out of bed, yet he's always trying to play and to live a little bit of a life. And I didn't get that message when he was young and living here with me. It was when he left home when he was 20 that things became a little clearer. And I was like, oh my gosh, my son is gone. Who am I? What have I done? I've stayed in this home. I haven't done anything. And now the only thing that has ever kept me alive is gone. Alec has played a huge part in who I am. He is one of the reasons why I am the way I am today, and I am grateful for him. I am so grateful, and I always have been grateful for him. I have always loved him so much. He is such a good person. I knew he was going to grow up and do great things. I knew that about himself. So not only was God telling me, Christy, don't allow your pain, don't allow what's going inside of you and your limitations to ever prevent you from shining, from having a life. That's one thing, just one thing out of my son's life. And the next one was? And the next one is that how can you believe in somebody else? How do you know that somebody else is going to be great and not believe in yourself? I always knew my son was going to shine. But I doubted that in myself. I thought without him, I wouldn't have a life. I truly thought that my life was probably only to be a mom. And when he took off and grew up, who was I? Many parents, when their children leave home, they get that empty nest syndrome. I almost did. I was so sad and so depressed when he took off. He was my life. I tell you, he was my life. But something got me moving. Something said, don't settle for this. There is a life that is meant to be lived. So everyone, everything comes into play within our lives, whether we realize it or not. The heartache that we have in life is there for a reason. If you have children in your family, they are there to teach you something. And if you were never blessed with a child, that is to teach you something. I've had both. I've had a child, and I've never been able to have another. I've had great messages to take in, that I needed my son to prove to me that I was worthy, that I was loved, that I was capable, and God gave me that child to hand over a message because I wasn't listening to him personally. And then God has taken away my ability to have a child because he was teaching me about self-love, self-acceptance, and that peace and happiness comes from within, not from what you have. And I know that by never having another child to share with my own husband, it's for a different reason too now. Because my purpose in life is greater than ever being a mom could ever be. As terrible as that might sound, it isn't. I have loved being a mom, but I really love the plan that God has given to me. And by loving this, he has given me a grandbaby to love. And I do. I love her so much. I am so thankful for her and her life. That's why God says to be grateful for everything. Because everything is part of his plan. My car accident was to wake me up. My miscarriages was to wake me up. My chronic pain was to wake me up. And whatever you are experiencing right now, it is to wake you up to more faith, more love, more acceptance, more truth,